Strat, this for you. I'm going to show you how to one take these things, all right? Yo, what it is, John Mosley. You probably know me better as Popular Nobody. And listen, you know about the podcast, right? Nobody Listens. Well, today, I'm going through a life journey right now, and I had to listen to somebody. And 2 years ago, I met this man. He said, yo, let me help you change. Let me change your body to make it look different. As you could tell, we inside the gym. This is the gym that I'm at 3 days a week, getting it in. And I couldn't be more thankful to come across my trainer, Strat. But today, you ain't even gonna hear from me. I'm gonna let him tell you about how he built his fitness brand, but more importantly, how he built people through confidence, by changing their body, but also changing their mindset. So don't be like everybody else. I know it's called Nobody Listen, but I need your ass to listen right now. So, tell us your name and where you from.
Man, I am Mr. Get Back. I'll just point up. Strat Washington. Stratford, Washington II. Stratford. Lamont, Washington II. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I say Dallas because, you know, you move as a little kid and, you know, everybody care about nothing, right? The nothing is where you're from. That does not matter. All about where you're going. So, yeah.
That's what's up. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, your story. I think it's always important for people to understand what drive people to who they are today. So give us a little backstory on who you are.
Man, upbringing was actually pretty decent for the most part. I can't say I had a typical crazy backstory. You know, I know my pops, my mom, very strong woman, bullheaded. They weren't together, but I had a lot of great men in my life. And then I had step pops. Then I had my god brother, but I don't call him my god brother. He's my brother. He like blood. He took care of me. Pretty much raised me a lot, you know, as a man and how to be tough. I think it was some things already in you, but certain people know how to bring them out of you. I think having a tough mom, tough grandmother helped me as well, because seeing women be tough on you, you know, and not babying you makes a difference. I believe just in how I see, you know, young men, but having strong male figures around you helps out a lot. I just think that for me, that made a difference in being the oldest. I'm the oldest of 3 boys, 2 on my mom's side and 1 on my dad's side. So having to be the ox, the leader, you know, to pull them made a difference in having strong male leaders to be in front of me and look up to. I think that is why I kind of am the way I am, very strong-headed, but very level when it comes to people. But I'm very straightforward, very direct, very honest. So as far as background, I grew up, like I said, I'm from Dallas. I actually graduated high school from City Hill High School. I played football there, powerlifted there. And then from there, I went to school for 1 year. Well, it's funny. Yeah, I went to school for 1 year. So I am not the greed guy, but that doesn't mean I lack education. So went to school for 1 year, got out of school, and I actually went from being being an honor roll student in high school to being the worst student in college. It's pretty funny. I went from having a GPA of 3.5 in all AP classes to being in college and having the 2 point, yada yada yada. You know what I mean? And then honestly, the following semester, I ended up getting on academic probation, and I just didn't go back. I was going to school for business management, actually, but everybody in my family is entrepreneurs. The man I told you about that was a big influence on me that I call my brother. He actually owns a business, owns several businesses, actually. Uncle of mine owns a trucking company. I have another uncle that owns a physical therapy clinic. He's a military guy, spent 30 years in the military. My mom owns a real estate business. She's in commercial real estate and she's a broker. So seeing that growing up, I think that, my mom never put school on us. She never pushed education. She pushed being able to find something that, how do you help people? And in the way that you help people, that's going to be what you need to do. I love people, by the way. So I believe that made a difference too. My mom was always telling me, whatever you do, you need to make sure that it's dealing with people. And if you're not doing that and dealing with people, then you're going to be miserable. And that's pretty true. I tried to sit behind the desk job. No bueno. I tried to do some other things, but it was always, for me, I like to be interactive. And so not being interactive kind of bores me, if that's going to be my everyday life. I'm to myself at home. This was crazy. At home, I'm to myself. I might get around and joke around. I mess with my family, but for the most part at home, I'm kind of in my own little world. But when I'm out, I'm engaging with everybody. I guess that's probably why I'm at home to myself, kind of recharging, so to speak. But that was pretty much the upbringing, man. Strong male leaders, strong men around me. Very, very strong mother. Very, very strong mother. Very bullheaded mother. And yeah, they were big influences.
So let's talk about, I started this, it was a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago. You reached out to me after seeing me at a graduation and you was like, man, let me help you get your body right. And I never took heed to that. So before I tell the story, for everybody that's listening and watching that don't know, I decided to take this personal fitness journey a little different. You can't do everything by yourself. Sometimes you just got to pay people to be professional and do what they do. So Strat is actually my personal trainer. He get to kick my ass every day, every other day, right? 3 days a week, he kick my ass. But one thing he does is unique. He doesn't push you to the point to where you feel defeated. He just encourages you to keep going. But with that being said, Strat, I want to know, what does it take? Like, what first got you into fitness? Because I heard you say that you power lifted in high school. That's not something typically most people do. They just do the basketball, football route. But you said you power lifted. So what first got you into fitness? And when did you realize it was your purpose?
So we're going to go back to my brother. So his name is Wade Simpson. So anybody y'all need anything in trekking, my brother Wade Simpson. So I'm going to tell you about the relationship between me and Wade. So as a kid, I loved boxing. So training was always a thing that I enjoyed. I enjoy Rocky. Rocky 3 is my favorite boxing movie. My favorite line is, "You've been fighting setups." And so, and I'll get into that as I go. Because with Wade, he's 12 years old, and so he's like I said, big brother. But with him, I would see him go to the gym and work out. He would take me with him to the gym, and when he would take me with him to the gym, I see all these guys in the gym working out, and they talking noise and going back and forth. And he's one of the strongest guys in the gym, and I look up to him, right? So in that, I'm seeing that, man, I want to work out too. Nah, man, go over there and do some push-ups. You can start here, hit them push-ups, hit them pull-ups, and we talk. I'm 6 years old in the gym, right? So I'm 6, he's 18. So you just seeing that kind of that bond, right? And not to mention, I had been around Wade since I was 1 year old. So he was just like, it was a family friend, but like I said, he's my brother. And so literally seeing him train, seeing him work out, seeing him do that, that was a big influence on me as a young kid, right? Seeing him doing 800, I kid you not, 800 push-ups a night, 1,000 sit-ups a night. So I'm seeing that, right? And he's not training for anything. this is just how he was, mentality. And he's the same way like that in business. So like I said, certain influences, you don't notice how they kind of build you and mold you, so to speak, right? And so I'm working out, I'm boxing. He's putting me in the gloves. We'll be boxing, working. And so we'll work out. And so I'll be trying to do the push-ups with him and getting it too. I'm, like I said, mind you, I'm 6 years old. It went on from there. And he wouldn't never let me quit, never let me down on myself. You know, he would always push me. You think you can't push him? Well, he always push me, right? So you got to think, as a young kid, having that beat into you, not beat physically, but it's just ingrained into your head and carved into your head. And then you hear the same thing at home. My mom, we don't quit. You start something, you finish it. And then my dad, my actual father, my dad, because we all have a competitive nature about it. And sometimes I have to work on keeping it in check. My babies are the same way. I'm the same, my daughters. My babies are the same way. And so, and I have to say, hey, calm down, it's okay, right? My dad, I remember one time we were doing something, I got upset, and he would do little things and get in my head and to mess with me. And so he said, he gave me a hard time. I'm getting frustrated because of who it is, but I'm not listening to what he's saying. And then and I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. Take me on, right? And so he tell me, you quit today. You teach yourself to quit today. From now on, you're gonna have that option. And you gotta think, as a little kid, you don't understand what he's saying, but literally, we give ourselves out every day, right? When it comes to whatever it is that we're doing that may be hard. The difference between most people that are successful and the people that are successful is they made a choice to keep going. And so I said that to explain kind of the background of why I am when it comes to training. So as far as powerlifting, why did I powerlift? To be honest with you. So going to Cedar Hill, I played for Coach McGuire. And so being a football player, you had to either do powerlifting or track. Well, now, and y'all don't use this against me. I did not quit. I chose the other option. So we had a track meet, and it's cold. And I was doing field events. I did high jump, and then they wanted me to throw. I wasn't throwing the discus or the shot. I wasn't doing that. So I'm doing field events. So we done after the beginning of the track meet. So I'm ready to go home. Everybody running, man, it's cold. It get to raining sometimes. So I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of good on this, man. I'm gonna go to I want to go to a powerlifting meet and see how I go, right? I go to a powerlifting meet. First meet I go to, it's on the inside, first of all, and then I get first. So I say, this cool, man. And I enjoy working out already, right? I tell you about kind of how I love working out with my brother. So I enjoy working out already. And I go to the meet, I win. Man, it's all good. So I was like, man, I'd rather keep going to these powerlifting meets than going outside freezing my balls off, basically, and sitting here in the hoodie. And if any of y'all ran track, y'all know you got your hands in your sweats and you sitting like this and y'all huddling up, waiting on everybody to go, and y'all ready for the meet to be over with. You know what I mean? Especially if it's during the week. You got school tomorrow, or on the weekend it's a little bit better. Hey, I'll come get him, but she wasn't trying to come get me. She said, you better wait. My stepdad was a coach. He coached for City as well. So he's like, you wait. You can wait on him. Like, man, ready to go on, right? So that's what got me into powerlifting. I never knew anything about it. I just was doing it because it was a different option instead of track. And in doing that, I ended up being pretty successful. I went to state my junior and senior year in powerlifting. I finished third my senior year in powerlifting. And then I took a year off. I went to UNT that year. That I didn't powerlift. And then the following year when I came home, I called the guy that used to be one of the judges at the private meet. He ended up training me. His name is Matt Byrne, out of Strauss Fitness. And he ended up training me, and I ended up winning worlds in the WPC, the World Powerlifting Championship. I ended up winning world at 21. So that's kind of how I got into the powerlifting phase. But if I be honest with you, as far as working out, I'm gonna be real with you, John. So tell y'all a true story, man. I'm in the 7th grade. It's me and another friend of mine. Well, actually, this is right. I was a little chubby. I was a chubby kid growing up. I wasn't. It's chubby to me. Knowing what I know now, I can see body structure and say, nah, that kid not chubby. He just, once he developed, his body didn't look like this.
He just big boned it.
No, you fat. I don't believe. Look, yeah, I know people don't like body shaming. It's not such that. We just got to be honest. You know what I mean? It's not body shaming. Tell the truth, because without the truth, you can't get better, right? And so, but no, I was chubby. I was a chubby kid. Like, it is what it is. I still like to eat. You know what I mean? I just got to keep it in check. I know what to eat a lot of instead of just eating what I want to, right? So, man, John, I'm in the 7th grade. It's this girl. I try to, hey, man, yada, 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 try to talk to her. I said, hey, you want to be my girl, don't you? And I always had confidence. I've always been, but this is what drove me to really start. I say to her that you want to be my girl. She said, you cute, but you chubby. I don't really like my guys fat. We in the 7th grade. Who know what they talking about, right? But those little words drove me. I went home that night. I did my push-ups. And then I did 1,000 crunches, right? And so I said, ain't nobody gonna ain't nobody gonna say that. Ain't no woman gonna say nothing crazy like that to me again, right? So you're as a kid, your ideal and your outlook in life was very small. So, but in that, end up doing that, didn't know it would become a career. Started doing 600 push-ups every day, 600 sit-ups every day. From that day all through high school. And so that was kind of the molding into becoming this, if that makes sense.
So would you say, I'm gonna just get off course just a minute. So would you say that today's kids are not doing enough of moving their body in order for them to be in shape? Because I think a lot of kids right now are out of shape, just naturally because they stuck on the game.
Yeah.
They head down in their phone. They're doing everything except for being outside, putting an old school baseball card or basketball card in their bike tire. They're not doing none of that.
Yeah.
But you don't even really see kids skateboarding out here no more. So it's like, do you think that's an issue? Because it sounds like you got it from, a girl was your motivation because she told you she don't want you seeing like fat boys. But
came back the next year, they said, because I got summer break every day. Came back the next year, they was like, what you been doing? Watch out, little baby. Watch out, little baby.
Man, that's funny. So let's talk about this real quick. What's the biggest?
You had a question there. I'm sorry, I didn't like. No. You was talking about kids.
Yeah, do you
obesity?
Especially the obesity stuff.
So people don't understand the number one killer in America is not cancer, it's not AIDS, it's not COVID, contrary to what they try to put out there. It's obesity. Obesity is the number one killer in America. Our foods, the way we eat, and then the mass production of how we try to produce things, that causes an issue. But the thing is, the difference between, I would say, because I'm 31, so I'm in that. I was born in '94, so I'm in that era of like, you still was outside, but you did have a game. But the game wasn't as what we weren't playing online, so the game get boring when you're younger because everybody outside. Let's go outside. Let's go play, right? Well, I think the difference is couple of things. So, people pay a lot for convenience. One of the things I can honestly say that made what I did every day, as far as doing, I'll give some pictures of me in high school, or whatever. Yeah, but what made a difference for me and why I didn't look like my friends? Yes, I was working out and doing stuff that they weren't doing. I did those push-ups and sit-ups no matter what we had for football practice, powerlifting. My coach had to come to me and ask me, "Hey, you got to meet this weekend. You need to rest." But the thing was, my mom cooked every day. So I knew that I was going to, and I brought my lunch to school. So that was the difference for me personally, that, and why, knowing what I know now about fitness and about nutrition, that was the reason why I saw a difference in my body, and I was going to bed every night. So a couple of things: kids stay up too late, which don't allow their body to rest. It don't allow their body to heal itself, right? So you have a lot of kids having a lot more chronic illnesses at a younger age. You shouldn't be diabetic or pre-diabetic at 15, 16 years old, right? You shouldn't have certain illnesses that somebody made that's in their late 60s, early 70s, late 70s, that's an elderly. Like, you have kids, and even I would say, 20 and people from the age range of 18 to 25 are having chronic illnesses that they shouldn't have, due to the inactivity. You know what I mean? And I tell a lot of people, and even the kids that I train, talk to, I say, hey, you want to get your habits together now while you're younger, because the habits that you build now, it'll be a lot easier as you get older to keep those habits going. Create that pathway in your brain. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to create a new pathway by saying, okay, well, I'm this much overweight, I need to try to do something now. Right now, take advantage of being young, take advantage of young, and then eat like you should. You know what I mean? Don't just take advantage of it and eating what you want to, and then bam, now you look up. Everybody doesn't have the skinny body type where I can just eat what I want and I do, I'm good. Like, that's, you have some people like that who can eat whatever and they're going to be small regardless. But eventually the metabolism slows down as you get older, but it doesn't slow down as fast as people think it does. It's just that you put a lot of bad food and things that your body isn't supposed to be processing in your body. So your body has to slow everything down to try to process what you ate, if that makes sense. So I would say the inactivity and the not cooking, and just, paying for convenience. I think that those two things coupled together is equal to obesity.
Man, that's crazy. We joke a lot and laugh about it in the gym. We talk about, I get on myself probably harder than you do, especially that one day that I couldn't complete my workout and I was pissed. You know what I mean? And I think it's like you said, go back to that competitive nature. I don't think kids are as competitive as like our generation was. Like our generation raised dogs. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just a different mentality. But what do you feel is the biggest misconception people have about personal trainers?
It's a couple of things, man. That's first thing is I don't need one because I know what I'm doing. Right? A lot of times we don't feel like we need something because we feel like YouTube University has made a lot of people think that they're experts in different fields. So a lot of times you don't ask for help because you don't think you need help. And you think you're okay. If you tell yourself you're okay, it's going to be a lot harder to see why you need the expertise of the person. Why don't most people go to the doctor, right? They deem it okay. I don't need, I'll go to the doctor when I feel like something wrong. You know what I mean? And so with personal trainers, I think the first thing is, I don't think I'm at that point to where I need help. So that's the first thing. Second thing, we had that stigma, and this is why I explain to people, I am not just a trainer, I'm a health and wellness coach, because I'm about making health, not just getting you to look a certain way for a trip. But next thing is, man, and we be real, John, people think you gonna hit that chick. Or they, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's real though. Because of we're in that industry. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I ask women, like when I train them, hey man, wear certain things to the gym just to be respectful of yourself and of me, right? I'm married, I got kids. But man, help me out. You know, I'm not saying that I'm gonna do anything, but don't make the work environment hard for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the other conception, right? Misconception. So he's training. He probably be messing with all his female clients. No, I don't. I want my money. I want my money. I want to keep my name good, and I want my money, right? And I think that's the thing with a lot of us. We prefer to they're good guys and good people, because you have phenomenal female trainers out there as well. They want to help you see results. They care about the overall wellness of that person. So I believe that's another misconception. And then two, that it costs too much, right? So I mean three. So that's three. It costs too much. A lot of people are like, oh man, I don't have that. Man, it costs. Wow, you know. Somebody say, hey, you what an hour? Like, yeah, but let me ask you this: you rather pay me or you rather pay the doctor? That's what I ask people all the time. And the reason I say that is because you're gonna have to pick one. Either you're gonna pay someone to teach you so you can build a habit. Because me, I teach you, I show you what to do. Say for instance, you spend a year with me, maybe even 2 years with me, however long it take you to get to where you have the body of your dreams. It don't take that long, but you'll enjoy me once you come to the gym and get to know me, right? But the thing is, let's say you invested, because that's what it is. It's an investment in yourself. You invested that time. That paying me over that time is way cheaper than having something come up. You having a chronic illness. Now you have to pay the doctor and pay for medication for the rest of your life. You say, and then come see me. So which would you rather? You rather come see me while you're okay, and the doctor say, hey, let's get these numbers in check, or would you rather come see me afterwards, just like, hey, I have to see you. You see what I mean? So that's what I tell people. You pay for what you want, because a lot of times the money that you could pay me, you already spend it going out. You spend it on vacation. You spend it grocery shop. I mean, not grocery shop. You spend it on food. Somebody making your food for you. And so what would be a lot easier for you is to go grocery shopping, to prep your meals. You'll see how much money you can save. I tell everybody, and really I don't have this problem, because I train a lot of CEOs, business owners, and people who are in certain positions who just understand this is what I need to be part of our team. But when it comes, when somebody said, man, I don't have the time, or I don't have this, that's another thing, not having the time. And I asked, so you don't have time for you? Like, what do you do for you? Oh, well, I don't want to be working out to me. Well, it was like, well, it's only one body you get, you know what I mean? So you need to put it in the shop. You don't put your car in the shop. Keep not putting your car in the shop, you ain't gonna have a car for long, right? You don't do the maintenance on the car. And so coming to see me or going to the gym, that's maintenance. You know what I mean? So that's getting that oil change. That's, you know what I mean? Getting it flooded, getting the tune-up, you know, not just going to the doctor, because when you go to the doctor, you're going to check and see that what you're doing is making sense, or do you need to change up the routine? That's why you're going to the doctor. You're going to say, hey, what does everything look like? How's my daily habits? Because that's all the numbers give you, saying my daily habits are good or my daily habits are bad. That's all your numbers are going to tell you when you go to the doctor. But what you do outside of that visit is what is going to help your life be a better quality of life. So I think those four things. So what we said, they don't feel like they need it. They feel like you're going to mess, with their significant other, or the person feel like they're going to, get into some type of irresponsible relationship, or relationship that they shouldn't be in, or you know, they feel like they can't afford it, or they feel like they don't have time. So those are the 4 things that I see when it comes to people as a misconception.
That's good. That's good. What do so just speaking on the business aspect of it, speaking on the fact that people say they can't afford you, right? I know we done had some very good, interesting conversations about pricing, and just break it down for people how you do your structure to help people, even when they're on the road or whatever. Like, what are they paying for you, and why should people pick you as their personal trainer, and what's your business model?
So my business model, and why people should pick me. Well, people should pick me if they want results. I'm a result oriented, and I care about you. So everybody that comes in, I'm not just, working with you. You're not a dollar to me. Money's going to come. Money it comes and it goes. It's a constant flow, right? It's like water at the shore. It comes to the shore, it washes away. It comes to the shore, washes away. It goes back and forth. It's a consistent current. It's currency, right? So what I've learned is that, especially in business, man, if you can love people, take care of people, and show them value, they're willing to always come back, right? So that's the first thing. We give you value, and I make sure that you understand your value. You heard John say, I'm going to push you, but I'm not going to put you in a predicament where you feel like you're less than when you leave. I'm always going to uplift you and make sure that we build not just your body, but your mental. And we always, make sure that you came in whatever mood you came in, good, bad. I'm always constant. I'm going to be the constant. So you can be the wave, I'm going to be the constant. So whatever mood you come in, if it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. You're always going to leave the same way that you left me the last time. And that's a great mood, right? We're going to make sure that no matter what you're going through in life, you're going to always leave in a better place than when you came in. As far as pricing and business structure, so as far as pricing and business structure, so the way I do it is I make it simple. I give a monthly rate. So I have online clients too. So I have a monthly rate for online clients. I have a monthly rate for in-person clients. And then I have a day rate. Like somebody just say, hey man, I just want to come and get a session. I have that as well. So those are the breakdowns. But the way I do it, my online clients, what we do is top of the week, Sunday, I send you the workout program for the week. We schedule a call, or we go ahead and we usually have a regular call every Sunday. I know exactly, what time we're going to talk, but we go over the workout plan. I break down the why and the reason behind what we're doing, and going over the exercise, the function of the exercise, and the reason for doing the exercise. And then we go over your meal plan. We check and see, okay, what was your weight at the top of what's your weight at the top of this week? What was your weight at the end of this past week? And making sure over the weekend you didn't lose your mind, right? And that's very important, especially because I'm not there face to face and seeing you work out. You do send me what you're doing. We do, do some FaceTime workout, Skype, not Skype. Zoom, yeah, there we go.
Bro, I'm not saying
Skype, I know.
Sure. Yeah, now you telling people how old you are, bro.
91, baby, 94, baby.
You said Skype.
But yeah, so it's about keeping engagement with those online people, because you never want them to feel like, I want them to feel like that we still have a relationship, we're still there, right? It's just long distance, right? But we're still connected, because their success is my success. Every client's success is my success. So without results, without a client looking better and somebody saying, hey man, you look different. What are you doing? And then they say, oh, I've been working out with such. Well, what's his name? And then they give him my name. I want it to bring a smile in your face, because they say, hey, I look different. I'm feeling better. Okay, good. Hey, this is my guy Stratford, yada, yada, yada. I don't want it to be a situation where you say, man, I've been working out. And they look at you and like, oh, you lost any weight? how's it going? Is it going good? You know, those are things I never want my client to hear. And so, because if they do that, then like, well, what you say, man? That's a totally different, man, who you working out with? Or who you them two different responses, right? So when you take care of the person, they are your billboards, they are your people. You know, John cuts hair, right? If somebody got a nice haircut and who cut your hair? Man, John oh man. If you just sold another person without ever having to speak to them. So now when they come in, they're already sold. They just want to make sure what they heard is true, right? So a lot of times that for me has been the greatest form of marketing, right? Taking care of one person and making them feel like they're valued, and then making sure that they get results. They go out and get 3 or 4 more people for you because you're doing what you're supposed to do and what you guaranteed that you would do. And then my in-person clients, right? So my in-person guys, we have fun. I make sure that they're laughing. I can have a dry sense of humor, and then I can just be goofy on me and have fun. So and give a little smirk, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I hate when you just look at me and point. Yep, keep going. I'm like, damn, dog.
Yeah, man. Because if what's understood, that gotta be explained, man. That sign language be saying a lot sometimes, man. Sometimes they get tired and you just go ahead and you're like, oh man, it burn. Like,
Yeah, nah, hell nah, bro.
Yeah.
Like the day you had me warm up on the treadmill, and your brother said, you doing legs today? And I'm like, I hope not. And you like, oh shit, he warming up them legs. You about to go get it.
Yeah, man. Hey, just walking it out. You just walking, you know, getting blood flowing, you know, getting the body warm before we get the moving and shaking, right? You know what I mean? Man, and this is one, and John can attest, I'm never gonna yell at you. No. I'm never gonna, bro. I'm gonna make jokes. We're gonna have fun. This is gonna be a lovely experience. On the personal side. Now, as far as the training side, that depends on the person, right? Because you know everybody don't like for it to be burning like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's different. I can't say if it's lovely to you, right? Because it burned, it hurt. You know, it's changing though. You getting better. You know, that's what I tell them. Hey, if it's burning, just imagine you a diamond and it's changing. It's just fire, baby. Turning it up.
No, I definitely, like, even just for me, we don't track like my goals or whatnot. We never even talked about my goals. We just got into it and dove head first. And even for me, that mental track of, okay, the stuff that I couldn't do when I first started, I started hitting little milestones, like you said, when I was doing the step ups, right? Before I wouldn't even talk to you. And now we can actually have conversations while I'm doing it. So that's letting me know, not only am I getting into shape, but my wind is coming up while I'm able to execute. And then even just like pushing weight. The weight that I'm pushing now, I wasn't pushing before. When I first came in, I was struggling, and I see the growth in it. So I think that people don't give themselves enough time and grace when they working out with a trainer to actually see it. And, you know after our first month together, you was like, you coming back next month? And I'm like, yeah, like, it is what it is, bro. I see results, and I'm paying attention to the results. And am I perfect every day? Hell no. But, you know, I told you today that I wanted that Popeye's chicken. I went and got the chicken, but I also got a salad too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, we human. We gon' have those days where it's like, yo, I still want that fried chicken, but how I did it.
Yeah, I believe that. And my mentor taught me a lot. Shout out to you, Mr. Green. But taught me a lot. Great man. One of the things, because with me, I can honestly say when I first started training, and we'll get back to how I do my in-person clients. So my online, like I said, my online clients, it's just like I'm there. But let me say this, to your point. One of the things when I first started training, man, I sucked at. I had an expectation of people that I had in myself. And so one of the things I had to learn how to do was give people room to grow. Because a lot of times, if you're an athlete, former athlete, then you get in training, you go into athlete mode while training clone. And that's the quickest way to run people off, right? Because, you know, you can be hard, you can be firm, but you also have to understand that this is something new for some people. Some people haven't worked out in 20 years, some 10 years or whatever, right? And so this is a new space for them, and they're already coming to you and they're being vulnerable because there's certain things that they're going to discuss with you, like their numbers, as far as so my clients, they have to get their blood work. They already discuss their numbers with you, their weight, you know what I mean? Especially with women, you know, if they don't feel like they're looking their best at the size that they're coming to see you at, you have to be very strategic on how you communicate with them. You know what I mean? And I can't say you fat and you lazy, you know, because she not doing what I asked her to do. I have to make sure I be respectful, of course, all the time, but have to make sure I'm strategic in the way in which I talk to the client. Because like I said, it's about people and relationships. So the way I relate to this person is how do I get them to do what I want them to do, but what they need to do as well, right? For themselves. It's not just me willing to do it. They need it. They come to me because they have a need. So my job is to help them with that need and then teach them in the process and explain to them, you're a teacher. So you're not just training somebody, you're teaching them. You're teaching them how to work out. You're teaching them how to be fit. You're teaching them how to be healthy. And you're teaching them how to extend years on their life, health-wise. So one of the things that my mentor did a great job, he just, you know, is helping me be patient with people and give room to grow. Because I think a lot of times, like I said, coming from being an athlete and you being I'm not saying I was a world-class athlete, but I do have medals at home collecting this. But now, in all seriousness, when you come from that world and then you try to come over and cross over with civilians, you have to make sure that, you know, you have some people that work former athletes, so that's just where their mind is and you can push them. But some people, you can't push them too hard because they're not coming back. You're not going to see them again. So you have to know and be strategic with every person. They're a little bit different. You know, with John, I can push a little bit, but I don't have to say anything. Like he already has a motor built in within him. But he's also a business owner. He's also a person that is used to going to go get something, right? So that's a certain thing that's within him. Some people I have to help, and then I got to charge their battery. But eventually what happens is they already come with their battery and their back and they're ready to go. You just have to be consistent. So that's one of the things I would say as far as in the training space. That could be another reason why people may not want to train with trainers because they're afraid they're going to have somebody being a drill sergeant. You know what I mean? And instead of being a teacher, instead of being you still be a coach. But when I say be a teacher, because a lot of people they're in the dark. They don't know what they're doing. They're just here and they're trusting you. So you kind of got to be like a parent, so to speak, as far as saying, hey, this is why we do this. This is why we're going this route. Because there are babies in there. They don't know what they're doing. You know, they looking to you for guidance, if that makes sense.
That make all the sense in the world. So I got a good question for you. What's more important in your eyes, consistency or intensity, and why?
Consistency, because intensity will come through time. Intensity comes from being around certain people, right? So I never forget, man. I thought, and I've always been a hard worker, whatever, right? When it came to working out. But I remember being trained by my guy Matt. And so I'm thinking that I train hard and then we start doing the program, getting ready for these meets, right? And so I start having to go based off of his time, and doing that. So it got my body conditioned to train a certain way. But if I wasn't around him and I just was doing that on my own, I would have still been on my time, and it would have made it a little bit harder when I did go back and see him. So being around him kind of built that within me, right? So I believe intensity comes from who you train with, because you need somebody to show you how to push yourself in a certain, like you will push yourself or whatever, but if somebody is there and they build you to a certain point, I think that helps you out a lot. It's like somebody being on the track and running. That's one way. But when we put that clock on you and you got somebody sitting there saying, you got to make this time, that changes your intensity level. So you get used to training at that pace. Now that changes the way you train, no matter if that person is there or not, because you built that up. You know what I mean? But it was somebody else there to help you push to that point. Now, consistency is on you. And I believe two words always go together: consistency and persistence. Because there's things that's going to come up to stop you from being consistent. But that's where persistence comes in, for you pushing through that point, right? A lot of times I think that we talk about consistency, but we don't couple that with it, persistence with it, because if you don't have that to push through, obstacles, then consistency never happens. You know what I mean? But I think consistency is the first thing you need, because you need to have something. You need to build a habit. First, build the habit. Once you build a habit, you can work on intensity. You know what I mean?
That's great. That's crazy that you transitioned right there, because one of my next questions was, what's one of the non-gym related habits you recommend to your clients for overall wellness? Because I think that's important, and like how you just transitioned into it, creating those habits. And just for the people to know, I get up at 5:30 in the morning to come to the gym at 6. And the reason why is not because I need to get up earlier to make my day. It's more or less to create a habit that allowed me to go to bed earlier, to wake up earlier, but also to implement that discipline to start strengthening my mind. So what are some of the habits, or a habit that's a non-gym habit that you would recommend for your clients or somebody watching to get overall ready to be in this healthy mindset?
First thing you just said, like going to bed, putting your phone down. It's going to be there in the morning. I promise it is. Work, your phone, your kids, whatever it may be that you give an excuse to keep you awake will be there in the morning. I understand you got a newborn. That's one thing. I've been there. I can't say that I was the one getting up in the middle of the night, but I've been there. Shout out to my wife, she's great. But what I will say is, if you can sit down and write out your day, plan your day, structure your day, because what that does, and stick to that, because what that does, it shows you how much time you really have to do the things that you say you want to do but don't have time to do. If you actually put a time limit on the thing, on things, and actually structure your day, when you do that, it helps you to say, okay, I do have this much time to be at the gym, or I do have this much time to prep my food. I do have this much time for leisure time. But if you actually schedule those times, then you can actually say, okay, I have time to do these things. I don't have time to do these things. Right. And I think that that's one of the things, we just let the day come to us instead of actually telling the day telling someone what today is going to look like. Right. So if I say, what's your schedule look like? I don't know. I just got to do this. And then, oh snap, I got to do that too. Instead of you saying, oh, let me look at my calendar. That's two different types of people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, but it's two different types of people. One that's organized, that's structured, so they know exactly what can fit in their day. Then you have somebody else that say, well, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do that. That's the difference. Somebody that has it written down, when it's written down, it's concrete. So I believe that will help a lot of people with scheduling your day and writing your day out. And then at the end of the day, checking off what was you able to accomplish and what you might have to get back to. I think that will make a huge difference in getting on that track to being healthy, because even when it comes to tracking your food, that's something you have to write down, you have to keep track of it.
That's what's up. Starting, let's go to talk about some tips that listeners that they might have these questions, they might not, but I think it's important because as I've worked through this journey with you, it has helped me out. So for someone just starting out, what's one workout routine you suggest they master first?
Moving, walking. I tell everybody, especially if you feel like you really can't lift anyway, you can't do anything, right? And honestly, that's not true. That's a misconception, thinking that you got to do, just cardio only. You do want to move some type of resistance, but if you don't have anybody there to show you how to move weight, and that's very important because a lot of people get hurt, lifting weights wrong. I say walk around your neighborhood, walk around if you stay in an apartment complex, walk around the apartment complex. Don't just go to the treadmill, get outside to the terrain. If working out is not something you normally do, because going to the treadmill might be boring to you, might be hard for you, right? When you're starting out. So I would say, okay, let's start off is just going for, hey, we're going to walk to the end of especially if you're very obese. We're going to walk to the end of our block and back to the house 10 times, right? And we're just going to be consistent in doing that every single day. Now, I guarantee you the first day, if you haven't done anything in a long time, no matter what you do, you're going to be sore, right? But that's why I said that's where the persistence comes in, saying, okay, I'm going to do this again. And then you building up that habit, that consistency. So now you do that, you get used to doing that. Now what happens? Now you're able to say, okay, I'm doing this. Let's add something else to this routine. Let's go ahead, let's call Strat, and let's go ahead and see how can we get started. Because one of the things I'm gonna tell you, you got to walk every day with me because I got the weight portion, but I'm always going to put something on you to do because we're in partnership. So I would say the first thing is just getting up and getting moving, especially if you haven't worked out in a long time. Get moving. Start with just walks. Just walking around at a decent pace too. Just lollygag, be outside, but actually walk. The first week you doing the walk. Then the next time, let's time yourself. How long did it take you to walk from wherever your starter point to your end point and back? Now let's see if you could beat that time. You see what I mean? So let's be consistent at doing it, but then start putting little mini goals to accomplish while you're doing it.
That's dope. What common mistake people make in the gym that you wish personally that they'll stop doing?
Bro, just coming in and using a machine and just reading the diet, just using machines. A lot of times, or I see some crazy.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I see some crazy stuff. Just saying. So, and then too, because there's so many ways to get what you want. But I just see a lot of times people don't know what to do. So like they're going to go to the machine and they're going to go to the bench press. And then, so there's a couple of things.
Why are you holding back?
Because
let it fly.
I don't want to rent, but
no, let it fly.
So using machines improperly bothers me so much because I see you getting hurt And then once you get hurt, you're going to say, man, I was trying to work out, but I got hurt. And that's why I don't like going to the gym like that. I'm just going to do some stuff at the house. Well, if you haven't been doing anything at the house, you're not going to start doing anything at the house. If you're that type of person, to use that excuse to not go back. Next thing is people just coming in and just getting on the bench press, loading up weight, and then trying to bench, see how much they can bench, and then leave. That's going to cause injury too, because eventually you or I don't say this will happen to this, but what could happen is you could mess up a pectoral muscle, shoulder, and then you hear them say, man, my shoulder been bothering me. A lot of times the form is bad. And then too, you didn't warm up. You just went in there and just, you watched the YouTube video and you wanted to work out. And I get it. You was inspired or you was motivated. That's what I should say, motivated. And then another thing I don't like, and this is why I don't go to commercial gyms a lot, is to stand around by a machine talking. Get out of the way. Some people are actually in there to get their work done. Go on, bro. So if you got enough breath to sit there and talk 5-10 minutes, then try to get back to a set. I'm not like one of the guys who be like, hey man, you still wait. I'm gonna work in with you. Just, hey, out the way. But that's because that's rude. If you can talk and work, or just wait till you're done, or get that number, text them, call them, But standing around the machine talking, that hurts. Because you're in the way. People trying to get some work done. So that's probably those three things, man. It bothers me.
Hey, that's funny as hell, bro. Because I know it, dude. I know it bothers. You know what I'm most thankful for of where we train at is that you ain't got people in the mirror taking selfies in the damn gym.
Yeah.
Like it's like when we get in there, it's time to work, and it ain't no let me pose on Instagram. And like I take pictures of the gym after I'm done, and it don't even be me in the picture. It just be sometimes you might be in the background. I'm like blame him for why I'm hurt. You know what I mean? Or
I don't even be knowing that. I'm not on any social media.
Don't worry, I'll put you on mine.
So he put me. But see, this is what I'm saying. This is why having great clients and taking care of people matter, because people ask me all the time. Even Kelly. So Kelly is a guy that owns the PT studio that I train my clients out of. He asked me. He said, "Bro, you always got important people that you train. How you always be? And you don't be on nothing. You don't be posting nothing." I said, "Man, one of the things I make sure I take care of the people that I don't have. Well, I'm up on them, and then they be like, man, well, if you ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna put you out there." That's what happens. It ain't that I don't want to be out there, but for me, I was on social media. I had the Instagram and all of that. And this was like 2016, 17, all that. I had, 20, 30,000 followers, but a lot of that didn't yield into profit or any type of money. And so what would happen is, oh man, you train? How much you charge? That's the deal. And then you see that person and all they doing is watching all the stuff you doing, working out, and think that they understand how to work out based watching that. And I was like, man, and then I was like, I'm cool on it. Okay, we're gonna do like legit business. We're just gonna have a website. And we're just gonna pass out website flyers. Hey, if you serious, this is the website, you can contact me here. And it changed. I changed my business model, but I've seen more growth than that in doing it that way than doing the social media route. And I don't, like I said, my boy, he does it. My boy Kelly Burt, he does it through the social media route. That's the way that he does his training and get clients through social media. Just for me, I don't. And what happens is he posts me on his social media. So that's just how it goes. I mean, take care of people, man. They want you out there. I'm a character.
Well, I'm glad Kelly think I'm important. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you know, you kind of touched base on this earlier, and it was like people make up so many damn excuses. And I was one of them people, you know. Shit, if it rained too hard, I'm like, bro, it's raining. We can't go, right? Look, I know you don't want to be out here. But how do you recommend people stay consistent when life gets to lifing? You know, they travel, they got kids, they got work, they got et cetera. And one thing I've heard before in the past is that you got all of this. So what's the excuse now? Yeah. So what's your mindset when you hear that coming from people as far as like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a no nonsense kind of guy. But I'm still nice about it. But I am very direct about it. Because, and I was just having this conversation with my uncle. So we were talking, and he was telling me how he almost got mad at somebody. He not almost got mad. He got mad at him. Because they said he wants something. He brought something up, and then they said, man, you always talking about this. And he was like, man, and he just said, I hung up before I say something I was going to regret. But I understood why he was upset. Because if you come to me, and the type of person I am, if you come to me, you say, hey, Strat, I want to do this. Whatever this may be. It could be in business. It can be just personally. It can be in life. You come to me and say, this is a goal. I'm going to hold you to that standard that you said you set for yourself and that you brought to me. So when you tell me about it and I see you doing some opposite of what the goal was, I'm going to say, hey, then you say this was a goal, remind you. And then if you get upset with me, I'm going to say, well, this probably ain't the best relationship. And the reason I say that is because I'm not yelling. I'm just reminding you of what you said, hold you accountable to, because I expect that of you to do for me. So if I say, hey, John, we going to be at the gym at 6 in the morning, and we actually are going to be at the gym bar at 6. He back there a little sad.
Way to slide that.
But if I say that, I'm going to be there, right? It's been times that, man, you don't understand how many days I wake up like, oh goodness, I know this alarm ain't just went off. You know, I got a lady that I got to train at 4 in the morning. Yeah, but that's what time she's available, right? So me, I'm saying I'm always going to be there. So I'm going to do my part. So I want you to do yours. But when it comes to setting out and saying you're going to do something, I believe the only way to do it is just by doing it. You know, my uncle got a saying, my other uncle, he say, man, we don't try on clothes. We like Nike. We just do it. You know, and he that's what he said. And so if you say, I'm going to try to do anything, he said, man, you try on your shoes and your clothes. That's what you try on. We just do it. Anything else, we get it done. And that's the mindset and the mentality that you have to have when it comes to anything, because you can say the same thing when it comes to business. You can say the same thing when it comes to kids. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do that. Well, if it's still a try in your mind, don't even say it out your mouth, because you don't want to put that on you, because people going to hold you accountable to that. So I say, hey, whatever it is that you say you're going to do, just do it. Get it done. That's how you become one with yourself, with your word. You become one with your words and your actions. You let that be one. It's a lot easier to be consistent, because now you're holding yourself to that standard. And I just think that you should keep people around you that's going to hold you to that as well. If you say you're going to do something, do it. I know it gets tough. Life does life. But at the same time, that's not going to stop happening. You know what I mean? So if one thing say, hey, I'm not going to be able to do this, I'm not going to be able to do that. Like this morning, usually I just didn't get a chance to. So I didn't get a chance to get on the stairs this morning, right? Because that's the thing. I send my clients, hey.
Yeah, I didn't get no video this morning.
Oh, don't think it's not one. Because there is one. Yeah. And matter of fact, I had a witness with me. So, yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, right. So before I finished, because I didn't get a chance to get on the stairs this morning. But what I did do is when I worked out, I got on the stairs before I worked out. So I got on the stairs, then I lifted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time I open my text from you and I see that damn video, I'm like, damn. But it also made me do something. And I don't know if you noticed it, but when I be on the road and you tell me this your routine, your workout. I, in return, show you my video
Right.
to let you know, like, yo, I'm still on course. I'm still doing what you asked me to do. That's what's up. Let's talk about the business side of it real quick. What's the biggest challenge? What's been the biggest challenge with you building a personal training brand and business?
I honestly would say it's kind of, so people are people, and so you gotta just already know, like, hey, people gonna be people. Like, so this is the thing. I wish people treated us like barters. because they done. People feel like they need you, right? So if they don't, then man, I gotta come see, because I ain't gonna be looking right, but I wish people felt that same way about me sometimes, right? Because if you stop coming to see me, so you telling me you finna keep it up. You barely want to come see me and do it. You gonna do it without me? And I don't mean that in no way, but if you're not strong in that area, how you gonna keep up that habit without somebody else pulling you along if you're not strong in that area? You see what I mean? And so I think that that's probably the biggest challenge in building a business. So it's getting, and that's why I've made sure my brand is for a certain type of people, and that's just what it is. So when I say certain type of people, and nothing against anybody, but I've noticed that the people that have been the most consistent are people that own businesses, the people that are in higher level positions in companies. Those people have been the most consistent because they live by a routine and they understand, if I want to obtain something, I need to be under something. I'm not just going to be able to do it by myself. My schedule won't allow me to. So I'm going to put this in my schedule to make me do it. So my business model has just been to be, is to advertise to certain clientele. And that clientele goes and get me the same type of clientele. And I set my price point to a point to where it's that type of clientele, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna let y'all know he not cheap.
I'm cheap.
No, you're not cheap.
I am cheap.
Well, somebody might say you're not cheap.
That somebody's not for me.
100%.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
I understand that. So because if somebody is looking for cheap, I don't want that person, because I want the person that's looking for the value that I'm going to bring to, because you pay for what you want. So if I look at somebody and they say, man, you cheap, but if I see, I'm looking at your clothes, you got $500 pair of shoes on, $100 jeans, $200 shirt, however much on the watch, and then you tell me I cost a lot, and I'm just be like, I'm cheaper than your outfit. So maybe your priority is just a little bit different. You know what I mean? And so I don't want anybody that looks at price, because if you look at price, then our mindset might not be able to match. And that's the thing I think that helped me in business. It's just because when I first started, I tried to get everybody. So I was I wanted everybody. And then what I would do, I would drive my price down to try to get more people. And say, man, if I get more people, but the thing is, when you get everybody, you're going to get everything, good and bad. And I believe that in business, nobody is making Rolex go down. The price of Rolex ain't going down just because somebody's saying the economy is whatever. The price of Louis Vuitton, the price of Chanel, like these high-end brands, nobody is saying, oh man, people they do what they have to do to get it, right? Now, I ain't telling nobody to go out and get a loan for a trainer. I think that's stupid. You don't have the money. You do what you can do until you get the money. I don't believe in nobody going to get loans for things that you can work up to and it makes sense. Just build it within your budget. If any trainer is telling you to get along to train with them, you should not do any type of business with them, because that's wrong. That's scamming. That's taking advantage of the end. To say that in a week. I understand people want to look good, but you don't allow people to take advantage of you like that. If it's not within your budget, you do what you can do until you can afford what you want to be able to afford. You work your way up to that class and into that area. But like I said, if you finna pay for Louis Vuitton, I see people spend crazy money on shoes that done came out 10 times over. they coming out with the same shoe, just a different color pattern, right? So if you willing to spend money on that, it's just, that's where your priorities are. So,
bro, I feel personally attacked right now.
Why you feel personally attacked?
Because I got a lot of shoes, and they got them in a lot of different colors, but it's the same shoe. So I feel personally attacked as your client.
But you shouldn't. Hey, only hit dollars holler, man. Hurt dollars. What they say? Hurt dollars holler. All I'm saying, but you with me. You're in the gym with me. All I'm saying is, it's just, okay, this is something, like the shoes gonna be there. They StockX, they got plenty of websites for you to go find them again. But will you still be here? Can you, like, your quality of life is what matters. And I think that's the mindset. I want to deal with people that want a better quality of life and want a great quality of life. You don't want to be out on the jet skis and you can't fit in the life vest because you're too hefty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like, man, hope you don't fall off this mud. You know what I mean? You don't want to, like, we want life to be enjoyable. You don't want to be like, man, I will go to the beach. I got a homeboy, and I hope nobody, but this is my guy. He been my friend since 3rd grade. But we mess with each other. If anybody getting a little too big, I say, man, you gonna be like them dudes you at the pool party with a t-shirt on. You in the pool with a t-shirt. That's a problem. don't take that shirt off, man. But what I'm saying is, you want to have confidence. You want to look good. So I want people that care about the value. So I give you value. But if the price scares you away, then maybe it's not a time for us to do business. Once you get to where you are, I'll still be doing what I'm doing because I love it, right? So Rolex will still be there. It's still gonna be 60,000 or 100,000 for that presidential. You know what I mean? Or 40,000, depending on which one you get.
Yeah, but I'm still on a waiting list for one.
Yeah, and even that, right? Being on a waiting list. Yeah. So that's the thing. But the brand is still the brand. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so they don't change their price point so more people can afford it. They just say the right people will come in and they're gonna pay this price point.
Right.
So what's that?
Yeah, it's crazy to think about it too, that you presented it that way, because at the end of the day, the only reason I was getting a Rolex, it wasn't because of status, it wasn't because of nothing. It was because I got hit with pre-diabetic conditions. And I told my doctor, like, listen, I'm going to be your best patient within the next 3 months. And he was like, what do you mean? And, he offered me that old pill or the old shot. And I said, nah, man, like, you first got to beat your mentality. And so I was like, I ain't taking no O shots, no M shots, no shots. Yeah. The only shot I'm going to take is the one that I need. And I just changed my eating habits, and I dropped from a 9.6 A1C. In 3 months, I got it down to a 5.6 A1C. And everybody was like freaking out about it. But it was like, I used that Rolex as a motivation thing to say I could do this within 3 months. Mm-hmm. And so when they put me on the waiting list, it was more or less like me saying, I'm going to get there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's crazy that you said that. What you go by Mr. Chicken and Rice?
I wanted the name. I got one in a minute.
Yeah, man. Give me a trainer names, dog, because we got barber names. You know what I mean? But
I got one in a minute. So I got Mr. Get Bad, Mr. Get You Right, Mr. Chicken and Rice, Mr. Get It Done. You know what I mean? It just depends on the situation. Whatever it is, just put Mr. and then put it in that space bar. I mean, it just depends. But Mr. Chicken and Rice, a lot of people know that because I even have shirts and logo with the chicken and rice symbol on there. I got a whole song, but it ain't copyrighted, so I don't want nobody to change it. Yeah, I mean, buy it from within.
Steal it?
Yeah, man, I can. Well, if you steal it.
No, we're not even gonna put it out there because I don't want nobody to take it from you.
No, I'm not gonna put it out there.
Okay.
And they find an old video. Now it is an old video of me singing that.
Mr. Chicken and Rice.
The song, yeah.
How you like your chicken and rice?
How do I like my chicken and rice? Man, I actually smoked my chicken. So now I give y'all a little meal prep tip for me. Is how I do. So I go ahead. I got a smoker. I put electric smoker, master built. I'll put that in there.
The pellets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the pellets.
Yeah, you set that timer and walk on out, big baby. So I put my chicken, I put my steak in the smoker. Man, I let that thing cook, and because it's tender, it give me a different flavor. Since I'm gonna be eating it all the time, I just sometimes I pan sear my chicken. I'm not eating no baked chicken. I've done it too much, and so I'm good on the baked chicken. Yeah, like if I see it, I'm slapping the plate off.
But you missed the chicken and rice.
I miss chicken and rice, but like I said, I ain't eating that. I ain't eating that. So I'm and chicken breast. Let me say that chicken breast. I'm not eating baked chicken breast.
Okay.
If it's bone in, I eat.
What about thigh meat? You eat the thigh meat?
Chicken thighs, boneless skinless chicken thighs. Rarely.
So
I don't typically eat that. I typically eat chicken breast and tenderloin, for chicken, and then ground chicken breast. I eat ground chicken breast. You can get that from Whole Foods, Sprouts. It's easier. I prefer that over ground turkey, to be honest with you. But it's leaner. Than just buying ground beef or something. But that's my variation. So chicken breast and tenderloins is nothing but chicken breast cut up, and then ground chicken is nothing but chicken breast beat up, like brown meat. And I cook that, chop it up or whatever. And then I smoke, like I said, I pan sear my chicken. I have an indoor grill too, that you can just coat the little bars, set it over a little thing. I know I'm saying thing, and people don't know. It's a Phillips grill, indoor grill. And you just put your oil, and not seed oil. You can do like a coconut oil, or and you just put your chicken on, and you can grill it right there in the house or whatnot. It's just a little plug-in thing. So even I put ground beef on there if I want to do a little burger real quick for my girls. So, but I prefer to smoke my meat, man. I do a lot of steak. I'm actually about to go have one as soon as we finish this. But I'm gonna have steak and some spinach, man. That'll be my last meal. And but like I said, smoking it, man, just give me that flavor.
That flavor you need.
Yeah.
What do you feel about people fasting?
So I have a lot of answers for that, but I'm gonna stick to it. So technically, you fast every day. What do you call the first meal of the day?
Break fast.
All right. So you fast every day. The thing is, people be eating too late. So if I know I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock, my last meal need to be at 6. I need to give my body a chance to digest that food, move that food. So now when I'm resting, it can actually heal everything that needs to be healed within. When you sleep, your body is healing itself. And so you burn a lot when you sleep. So you should be burning a lot when you sleep. Now, if you go to bed on a full stomach, your blood pressure is raised, your levels are raised. So for the first 3 to 4 hours of your sleep, you're not going to get good sleep. And it makes it even worse. So you eat and then you go to sleep. Say for instance, you only get 5 hours of sleep. Well, technically, you only got 2 good hours because the first 3 hours, all your levels are raised because it's trying to digest that food, right? So now you're having an issue, feeling like, man, I'm tired, I'm getting up, groggy. First 5 hours, it can be enough for some people, but it's typically not enough for most people, especially depending on the diet of that person. So we always suggest you want to get 6 to 8 hours of quality REM sleep where you're actually in deep sleep. But eating before bed messes that up. It can lower it up. So you want to, and what I mean, eating right before bed, an hour to an hour and a half before bed. I would say give yourself 3 to 4 hours of not eating, and then you go into the laying down and get ready for sleep, so that your body can actually you can actually get quality sleep, and your food can be digested, and it can go ahead and pass. It'll help you a lot because it'll prepare you for that meal on the next day, right? So when I first get up, personally, I don't eat before I come to the gym because I'm usually going to go do cardio. So I do fasted cardio, and then after doing fasted cardio, I have my first meal. I either have my shake or I have whatever my first meal is going to be. But typically, my last meal was 4 hours before bed, and then I hadn't ate the first 3 hours. Then you got to think I went to sleep. I slept about 7 hours, right? So 4, 7, 11, and then 3 more hours. That's 14 hours of not eating, right? So I fasted.
That's a good way to look.
So instead of intermittent fasting while you're awake, because you need the food while you're awake, you need the energy.
Yeah.
But while you're asleep, you don't need energy. So why are you eating before you go to bed?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I like how you broke that down. Like basically your everyday life, you're gonna fast 14 hours if you get enough proper sleep.
Yeah.
If you're getting up and getting in motion.
Yeah. Even if you eat as soon as you get up, you still gotta if you sleep 7 hours, you ain't eating as soon as you wake up. So you still probably got 12 hours of not eating. There you go.
Yeah, no, that's good right there. So to kind of wrap this up a little bit, when it's all said and done, what do you want your impact to be in this space?
Man, I just want to, when people talk about me, I don't even want them to just talk about training. When they talk about me, I would like it to be that they actually talk about the type of person I was to people, right? That I didn't just help them physically, I helped them mentally as well. Training, you're not just and you understand this, you're a barber. So you're not just a barber. I'm not just a trainer, health and wellness coach. I'm a counselor. You know what I mean? I'm a family friend. It's a lot of things that you become with the relationships that you build with people. And so I just want that people to say, man, he took care of me. He always looked out for me. I never felt like he took advantage of me. He was just a guy that took care of me and looked out for me and really helped me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when people come to me, I can be, I'm sometimes their last resort. Hey, I don't get this situation right with you, then I'm going to be on this medication for the rest of my life, right? So you have people who are dealing with kind of a life and death situation sometimes. And I just want it to be that he pushed me, but he helped me to see myself in a different way. My brand and my business is called King Vision Fitness. And I believe that I want everybody to see themselves as royalty, and see themselves as great. So that's my goal when I'm training clients, when I'm building clients. It's just to, like I said, see yourself as your creator see you, and as precious and royalty.
Man, Strat, well, just for me to you, I appreciate, what was it, 2 years ago? 2 years ago. I appreciate them words 2 years ago. Like I said, I didn't forget them, where you literally just said, let me help you. Let me change the way your body look. It's one thing to be healthy, but let me change the look of it. Yeah. So I appreciate you because that always stuck with me. I've never been a gym guy, even when I played sports. I did not want to hit the weight room, and I didn't want to do anything but get in the game. You know what I mean? But now that I'm on this journey, it definitely has changed the way I look at going to the gym, even though it be those days that I'd be like, man, fuck no. but I still go because it just does something to me, and I get excited. I get excited about the conversations that we have afterwards, the laughters that we share all in the gym. And I think that's what's important to me, is like that brotherhood that come from us as a small group in that gym, just being able to connect and just laugh and joke with each other, but still progress with each other, but also help each other build, not as just business owners, but as men as well. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely appreciative.
I'm going to go back to one thing you said. I said was, I say this before we wrap up, as far as in person. So, and like I was saying, with in person, we're going to have fun. We're going to laugh. It's going to be some jokes. It's going to be some fun times. For John and anybody else coming in that situation. So with my in-person training clients, we have what we do. You know, I'll train you. I go over your nutrition and do that plan. But if you say, for instance, hey, I have to travel. John is a man that is on the road a lot. So for him is I have, and even all my other clients, if you have to travel, I make the plan to where, hey, we work out in gym, yes, but when you travel, I still go over everything we do about your client. So I'm able to kind of have that talk with you. Hey, what's your schedule look like this week? When John first get to whatever place, I say, hey, send me the weight run that the hotel has. And so he does a good job. He sends it to me, and then I'm able to send him, hey, this is what I want you to do this week. I see what they have. This is the plan that we're going to go for this week. And there's things that he's done with me in the gym. I don't just throw him in the fire and get him something new. I make sure that he's done it before, so he knows what he's doing and doesn't feel like he's in the middle of the ocean by himself. So that's the business model. And two, John, I don't know if you even know this because it's coming back up, school years. I do camps for teachers, boot camps for teachers.
No, I didn't. Well, we talked about it, but we didn't actually like dive into it.
So with that, and right now I actually do it through Unite to Learn with the ISD. But basically what I do, I come in and do a camp for the teachers. A lot of times we have stuff for kids, we have stuff for parents, but you rarely have stuff for teachers. I mean, yeah, you got Teacher Appreciation Day, but all that is a little cup, you know, and they throw a t-shirt and they do that stuff, man. Like I said, my stepdad was, you know, he's a teacher. I mean, he still is, but yeah, so they don't really get much, right? And you gotta think, they're not, some kids they're babysitting because parents don't really want to deal with them, but they deal with your kids, right? And so my deal was like, man, how could I help them with what I do? So I created a program, it's called King Camp. And so pretty much what I do, I come in, we do about 6 to 8 weeks. And so it'll be once a week. I come in and I do a camp with the teachers, and they're able to work out, and we, you know, do games and different stuff, different activities. And then, you know, at the end of it, I make them play dodgeball like in the last week or whatever, play musical chairs. And musical chairs, well, hey man, you see, they get down. They can fight over them chairs, man, and then the dodgeball. But with them working out with each other, it builds camaraderie. And so with building camaraderie within the school system, it makes it better for the student, because now you actually have teachers that like each other and then they want to be there. You know, it's nothing worse than coming into a work environment that you don't be in, and then you being a customer, you can feel that, man, these people don't want to be here. So imagine how a kid feels who's very sensitive to people. They, you know, they're peers, so they can feel that. They come into the classroom, they can feel that if a teacher don't want to be there, the teacher that's there and they sick of the kids, they're sick of the principal, and they're sick of the other teachers, they can feel that.
Hey, when them teachers be like, I'm gonna get paid no matter what.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah. So the kids can feel that. That's, yeah, all right, well, we're gonna make sure you earn this pay. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things I make sure that I do for the teachers.
Nah, I think that's dope, because funny story, man, my daughter was in junior high school and she was like getting a low grade in PE.
Okay.
And she couldn't pass her sit-up test. And her teacher was a little heavier, chubby, unhealthy guy. And he told her one day, he said, Jasmine, it don't look like you doing the work at home. She turned around and said, don't look like you doing the work at home either.
Yeah. Hey, kids honest, man. Kids gonna tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm sure they will. I got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old at home that are very honest with their mom and their daddy.
And they said kids say the darnest things. But
They say kids, man, you should have a funny story. I got one. I had to make, I love my baby. I had to make my wife, I told her to stop watching my 500 pound, my 600 pound, whatever pound. Like I had her to stop watching that around my girls, because my girls come to the gym with me. Like, so my girls work out, and just because they see their dad work out, you know, they've been coming to the gym with me. I was training clients with my 4-year-old in the carrier, the baby in the strap. So I be telling the client what to do. She said right here in the strap. So she been in the gym since she was freaking 6 months, man. So literally, she, being like her dad, is very direct, very honest. So we're in the elevator, and a man gets on the elevator that is hairy. He's obese, he's big or whatever, right? And literally, it's me, my wife, and my girls. So I tell her, I say, okay, press button, baby. So she presses the button, and she said, Daddy. And I was like, what? Why you keep calling him? Going down. And she said, why are you so big? And I just was like, I didn't know, you know, that was like, I'm like, And so I just said, girl, perfect time. She said, why are you so big? Ding, elevator open. I said, girl, get off this elevator. Let's go. And had to act like I was upset. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I had to. I had to coach her on, like, baby, like, everybody has different body types. You know, it is what it is. But she used to hear that from my wife saying, how do you get so big? Because watching my 600 pound life. So she just repeating what she done heard while my eyes say, man, y'all stop watching that crap. You know, like, just, you know, it's just, hey, it happens. But by the way, I have helped people lose over 100 pounds. So if you're out there and you ready for some change, call me. You can reach me. I ain't gonna put my number out here, but you can definitely go to kingvisionfitness.com, and you will be able to email me or chat with me through that, and then say something in the comments. You're more than welcome. I'm sure John will let me know. I see him, like you said, 3 times a week.
Yeah. And I'm definitely going to put not the comment, but the King Vision Fitness down on the YouTube link and all of that, just so that people can reach out to you. Because like I said, even though I travel, we still clock in. Even when I'm home, we still clocked in. So it ain't no excuses no more. You got to just, like you said, like your uncle said, just do it like Nike. You know,
just do it.
I can't try to be in shape no more. I just got to do it. I just got to get in shape.
Say, this part of your life, man. Yeah. If you make it part of your life and you say, this is what I do, then the excuse goes away and it's part of your routine. Versus your teeth part of your routine, right? You say, oh, it's because I want my teeth to be healthy. What about the rest of your body?
100%. 100%. Well, man, Strat, it's been fun, dog. It's been a pleasure to have this conversation. I think, you know, the reason why I asked you to jump on is because, one, we relaunching the podcast, but this is a part of my journey that I just started. And I think more people need to take in consideration their health, especially for us as barbers. We standing up, we doing all these things, and we don't take time to actually put our health in perspective. We eat bad, we eat late, we stay up late. And a lot of barbers smoke weed, and that's a whole discussion that, you know, we talk about in the gym. Yeah. And it's just like, how do we change those behaviors? Because even though, and just talking behaviors real quick, behaviors are changed through the gym. And I've noticed that, and and that's part of the reason why I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted everybody to meet the guy who's helping me out but more importantly, help you and support your business as well, because it has been a blessing to me. And I'm just enjoying the journey I'm on with you. And, you know, them 6 o'clock, not even a wake up call, them 6 o'clock clock ins, because I'm already up at 5:30. So them clock ins is different.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like we talked about kids, if you need a track team for your kids to get in shape, or just do something, you can, and you're in the Dallas Metroplex, you can, I have information on a team called Nitro. They train Shakiri Richardson. A lot of the guys you're seeing run at LSU and Oregon, a lot of these guys coming from Texas, from the DeSoto, City Hill, Duncanville area. These are the coaches, Coach Booker and Coach B. They get a lot of people college. So if you like, hey man, I just need you to go out here and get in some shape. They take care of your kids. So definitely, if you want to meet me, there'll be a bodybuilding show hosted by KRB Fitness, September 14th. So like I said, John will have that information. So we'll make sure we get it to him so he can post it on his social media.
Yeah, definitely. I won't be in that. I will not be in that fitness competition.
Oh, hey, I'm not competing either.
I thought that's what you was working out for.
No. I just
Mr. Chicken and Rice not going to get on stage.
Nah, for what? For what? No, I leave it to everybody else, man. I just like looking like I'm gonna get on stage. You know what I mean? I like people to be like, man, you not? Nah, man. Well, I'm just coaching. I'm just coaching. The coach look better than the athlete. That's what I want.
Yeah. Because then you hold the athlete accountable.
There you go.
So, nah, man. Well, I appreciate the conversation. Nothing but love, and shit, 3 days a week, I'm with you.
Yes, sir. See you in the morning.
Appreciate you.